Hey there everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now because today we're diving into something critical, something that could change the way you think about your future. Imagine this. You're sitting on your porch years from now, reflecting on life, and there's this one decision nagging at you. It's not just a small what if, it's the kind of regret that sits heavy, like a rock in your chest. According to studies, and we'll get into those in a minute, 90% of seniors look back and wish they'd done one thing differently. One big thing. And today, I'm going to tell you what that is, so you don't make the same mistake. Let's set the stage. Picture yourself at 70, 80, maybe even 90 years old. You've lived a full life, worked hard, raised a family, maybe traveled a little. But there's this one choice, this one moment, where you went left instead of right, and now it haunts you. What could it be? Is it money, health, relationships? Well, I'll give you a hint. It's not about forgetting to buy that dream car or skipping a vacation. It's deeper than that. It's about something most of us don't even realize we're gambling with until it's too late. So, what is this decision? Drumroll, please. It's not planning for the long game, specifically not taking control of your retirement years early enough. I know, it sounds boring at first. Retirement? Really? But stick with me here, because this isn't just about dollars and cents. It's about freedom, health, and the ability to live life on your terms when you're older. And trust me, 90% of seniors wish they'd seen it coming sooner. Let's break this down. Why do so many people regret this? What's the data behind it? And most importantly, how can you avoid being one of them? Grab a coffee, get comfortable, because we're going deep for the next 40 minutes. And hey, if you're still with me in a few minutes, drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. First off, let's talk numbers. A study from the National Institute on Aging found that nearly 9 out of 10 seniors, yep, that's 90%, say they wish they'd prepared better for their later years. That's not a small group, that's almost everyone. And when they dig into why, it's not just about money, though that's a big part of it. It's about losing control. Think about it. You spend your whole life building something, a career, a home, a family, and then bam, you hit 65 or 70, and suddenly you're at the mercy of circumstances you didn't plan for. Maybe your savings ran dry. Maybe your health took a hit because you didn't prioritize it. Maybe you're stuck in a house you can't maintain or a town far from the people you love. Let me paint a picture. Meet Linda. Linda's 78 now, living in a small apartment in Ohio. She worked as a nurse for 40 years. Long shifts, sore feet, the whole deal. She figured she'd retire, kick back, maybe visit her grandkids in California a few times a year. But here's the thing, Linda didn't save enough. She thought Social Security would cover it, and she didn't think about how inflation would eat away at her fixed income. Now she's stuck. She can't afford those plane tickets. She can't even afford to fix the leak in her ceiling. And when I talked to her, yes, I actually reached out, she said, if I could go back, I'd have started saving more in my 30s. I didn't realize how fast it all sneaks up on you. Linda's not alone. That 90% figure, it comes up again and again. The American Association of Retired Persons, or AARP, ran a survey a few years back, and they found that 87% of people over 65 wished they'd been more proactive about their finances and lifestyle choices earlier in life. Close enough to 90% for me to round it up, right? And it's not just about cash. It's about time, energy, and options slipping away. So why does this happen? Why do so many smart, hard-working people miss the boat on this? Well, it's a mix of psychology and practicality. Let's start with the mind game. When you're 30, 40, even 50, retirement feels like a lifetime away. You're busy, bills to pay, kids to raise, a career to climb. Who has time to think about being 80? It's like trying to imagine what you'll have for dinner next Tuesday. It's too far off to feel real. Psychologists call this temporal discounting. We prioritize the now over the later because the later doesn't feel urgent. But here's the kicker, when later arrives, it's not gentle about it. It crashes in like an uninvited guest and stays. Then there's the practical side. Planning for retirement isn't just save some money and call it a day. It's a puzzle. You've got to figure out how much you'll need. Hint, it's probably more than you think. You've got to account for healthcare, which, let's be honest, gets pricier every year. You've got to think about where you'll live, how you'll spend your days, and what happens if your body starts giving out. It's overwhelming, so most people just don't. They kick the can down the road until the road runs out. Alright, quick check-in. If you're still here, drop a number 2 in the comments. I'd love to know who's riding this journey with me. And if you're liking this so far, hit that subscribe button. We've got a lot more to unpack. Now let's get real for a second. What does regret actually look like for these seniors? It's not just a vague, "I wish I'd done better." It's specific, and it's painful. Take John, for example. John's 82, lives in Florida. He told me he spent his 50s and 60s working overtime at a factory, thinking he'd retire with a nice nest egg. But he didn't invest, just stuck it in a savings account, earning next to nothing. By the time he retired, inflation had chewed through half his buying power. Now he's scraping by, and his big regret. "I didn't learn about money," he said. "I thought working hard was enough." Or how about Susan? Susan's 75, from Texas. She stayed in a big house after her kids moved out because it was home, full of memories. But now the upkeep's killing her. Stairs are a nightmare with her arthritis, and the property taxes keep climbing. She wishes she'd downsized sooner, freed up cash, and moved closer to her daughter. "I held on to the past," she told me, "and it cost me my future." These stories hit hard because they're so common. That 90% isn't an exaggeration, it's a warning. And it's not just about money. Health plays a huge role too. The Centers for Disease Control says that 60% of adults over 65 have at least 2 chronic conditions, like diabetes, heart disease, or arthritis. But here's the thing, a lot of those could have been delayed or managed better with earlier action. Exercise, diet, regular checkups, stuff we know we should do but often don't. And by the time seniors realize it, they're stuck with meds, mobility issues, and a life they didn't sign up for. So what's the mistake we're trying to avoid? It's not one single oops, it's a pattern. It's not taking the long view, not asking, "What do I want my 80-year-old self to thank me for?" It's letting the years slip by without building a foundation for the end game. And the crazy part? It's fixable. You don't have to be part of that 90%. You can start today, no matter where you are in life. Let's talk solutions. First up, money. I'm not a financial advisor, disclaimer there, but the basics are universal. Start saving now, even if it's small. Compound interest is your best friend. If you put $200 a month into a retirement account starting at age 30, with a decent return, you could have over $300,000 by 65. Wait till 40. That drops to about $150,000. Time matters. And don't just save, invest. Learn the difference between a savings account and an index fund. Talk to someone who knows this stuff. Don't be John, wishing he'd figured it out sooner. Second, health. You don't need a six-pack at 70, but you do need to move. The World Health Organization says 150 minutes of moderate exercise a week, like walking or swimming, cuts your risk of chronic disease big time. Eat real food, less junk, more veggies. Get your blood pressure checked. Small habits now mean fewer pills later. Your 80-year-old self will thank you. Third, lifestyle. Think about where you want to be. That big house might feel great at 50, but at 75. Maybe a smaller place near family or in a walkable town makes more sense. Plan for community. Loneliness is a killer for seniors. The National Institute on Aging says social isolation ups your risk of depression and even dementia. Build those connections now. Alright, engagement break number 2. Drop a number 3 in the comments if you're still with me. And if this is hitting home, smash that like button and subscribe. We're building a community here of people who want to get this right. Let's circle back to that 90%. Why does it stick with us? Because it's not just stats, it's people. It's Linda wishing she could hug her grandkids more. It's John kicking himself for not learning about investments. It's Susan trapped in a house she loves but can't handle. It's real and it's raw. But here's the good news. You're not them, not yet. You've got time to rewrite the script. Think about this. What's one thing you could do today to dodge that regret? Maybe it's setting up a savings plan. Maybe it's taking a walk instead of scrolling your phone. Maybe it's calling a friend you haven't seen in a while. Small steps compound, just like interest. And the earlier you start, the bigger the payoff. Let's imagine the flip side. You're 80, sitting on that porch, but this time you're smiling. You've got enough in the bank to travel or spoil your grandkids. Your knees don't creak too bad because you stayed active. You're surrounded by people you love because you planned for it. That's not a pipe dream. That's what happens when you don't make the same mistake 90% of seniors do. I want to leave you with a story. My neighbor Ed is 85. He's the exception to that 90%. He saved aggressively in his 40s, moved to a condo in his 60s, and kept up with his daily walks. Now he's got a little boat he takes out on the lake, and he's always got a buddy with him. I asked him once, "Any regrets?" He laughed and said, "Not about this stuff. I saw too many friends wait too long." Ed's living proof it's possible. So here's your homework. Look at your life right now. Where are you at with money, health, and lifestyle? Be honest. Then pick one thing, one tiny shift, and start today. Because the only thing worse than regretting something you did is regretting something you didn't do. Alright, final check-in. If you made it this far, drop a number 4 in the comments. You're a rock star for sticking with me. And if this video helped you at all, please subscribe. I'm here every week with more stuff like this. Hit the bell so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's not be part of that 90%. Let's build a future we're proud of. See you next time.